in Time Magazine, June 23rd, 2014. Who has the fewest cardiovascular events? Who has the fewest heart attacks and strokes? Inuit and Eskimos above the Arctic Circle. 90% of the traditional diet above the Arctic Circle is red meat and saturated fat. They eat nothing but whale meat, walrus blubber, seal meat, and seal blubber, walrus meat, whale blubber, bear meat, bear fat. They don't eat any vegetables or fruit. They don't eat any nuts or grains. Their blood cholesterols range from 350 to 500. Been written up at least a dozen times a year for the last 20 years. The doctors can't figure out why. They come down here into Charlotte, North Carolina, eat like you. They all die in their 30s and 40s, just like you. They're the ones that came up with sit around the fire and chew the fat. Salt. In my 1971 paper on clogged arteries, I said salt has nothing to do with cardiovascular disease or high blood pressure. Now again, I was laughed at. 1982, salt a new villain. 2014, salt doesn't cause high blood pressure. I said that in 1971. The Japanese, they've dropped their blood pressure by 30%, went from 15 grams of salt a day down to 10 grams of salt a day, and their blood pressure problems have remained the same. Here's heart attack death rate in 1999. The dark red is the worst of the worst of the worst. And you notice Jackson, Mississippi is the worst. They have more obesity, more diabetes, more Alzheimer's disease, more heart attacks, more strokes, more cancer than anybody else in the world. There's 100 doctors per patient in Jackson, Mississippi. There are more hospitals there per acre than any other city in America, because it's the sickest place in America. I want you to remember this demographic. But I want you to look at Alaska, where everybody eats nothing but whale meat and whale blubber, walrus meat, walrus blubber, and seal meat, seal blubber, bear meat, and bear fat, and no vegetables, no fruit. There's no heart disease up there. Failed medical theory. Killed billions of people in the industrialized world. February 2012, I'm correct here, just bear with me. February 2012, the FDA sent an urgent stop email to all licensed medical doctors in America. I had that at one time, and somebody stole my stuff, and that's the one slide I haven't gotten back yet. I need to get that again. It was an email they sent to every licensed medical doctor in America. Urgent stop. Do not write prescriptions for statin drugs anymore for your patients, and they listed them. Mevacor, Lipitor, Zocor, Levostatin. They said, urgent stop. Do not suggest cholesterol-restricted diets to your patients anymore. And then there was a paragraph after those two urgent stop messages that said, if you continue to do these things, you increase the risk of type 2 diabetes in your patients by 52% and Alzheimer's disease in your patients by 100%. 4 months later, Science News, very well-respected peer-reviewed journal, they take big complex articles, 50 pages, 100 pages, 50, 60, 70, 100 charts and tables. They render it down to a half a page so students and busy practitioners can understand it. The lead article, June 2012, 4 months after the urgent stop email by FDA to doctors. Good cholesterol not so beneficial. Wait a minute, my doctor said that was everything. They're just saying good cholesterol not beneficial. It said higher HDL, high density lipoprotein, the good cholesterol, higher HDL levels don't reduce heart attacks. It's a fraud! It was a failed medical theory. What causes congestive heart failure? Deficiency of a single vitamin. What causes cardiomyopathy of heart disease? A deficiency of a single mineral. What causes coronary artery disease? Inflammation, fried foods, processed meats, and oils. Microwave popcorn. What causes thrombotic stroke and coronary thrombosis, blood clot in an artery? Omega-3 essential fatty acid deficiency. Which one of those is caused by cholesterol? Zero, zippo, nada. Hooah! Margarine is the worst possible type of fat for your heart. And here it is. FDA wants to trim trans fats out of food again. This is Youngevity and Steve and I and others going after the FDA and just feeding them information over and over and over. And there in that little blue panel in the middle There's a list of the most egregious sources of trans fats. And of course, microwave popcorn is the worst of the worst. And then of course, the next one is Oreo cookies.
Oh, jeez.
You want to kill your grandkids? Keep giving them Oreo cookies. There's that little margarine in the middle that never goes bad. Between the cookies, it kills more children than traffic accidents. It kills more kids in Chicago than shootings in Chicago. It kills more kids around the world. Microwave popcorn and Oreo cookies. Jim Fix, the darling in the medical world, because when asked, does he take vitamins and minerals, he says, no, I just run to keep my arteries clean. Bam! He was dead at 52 while running. Didn't help him any. His protege, Brian Maxwell, invented the power bar. Nestle's gave him $300 million, and then 3 months later he dies of a cardiomyopathy heart attack while running. He was considered the fitness guru. Had 12 gold medals in long distance running, 3 in the Olympics. He died at 51 while he was doing a marathon. And he went from being a guru to just simply stinky goo. Jim Fix died in September of 1982. It was cardiomyopathy heart attack. In December of 1982, the Journal of the American Medical Association published a survey from the literature in Runner's World magazine. They said, I'm quoting them now, while running, a man's risk of dying of a heart attack increases by 700%. Let's all go exercise. Bam, you're dead. That's because they're not taking rebound. Reggie Lewis had his first cardiomyopathy heart attack at age 28 in a Charlotte Hornets playoff game. Right? And what the doctors give him? Drugs and light exercise program. He died 2 weeks later while shooting baskets. As his light exercise program, he died of a second cardiomyopathy heart attack. A simple deficiency of one trace mineral, selenium. Roddy Piper dies at 61 from cardiomyopathy heart attack. I love this guy here. He's a cardiologist and a professional soccer star in Brazil. Bam! He was dead of a cardiomyopathy heart attack at age 57. So why is strenuous exercise unhealthy? Why is it that the professional athletes who sit out their whole life on the bench never die of cardiomyopathy heart attack? It's always the best of the best die of cardiomyopathy heart attacks. Because when you first look at professional athletes, you take all professional sports combined, the average lifespan of professional athletes when you combine all professional sports is 62. You take out football players, the average lifespan of professional football players, when you count Canada and the United States together, is 51. There's never been a professional athlete ever lived to be 100. But they get paid just to exercise and eat well and sleep. You get the best personal trainers and personal sports medicine doctors. And, they've got a life. They get paid just to do everything right. And none of them live to be 100. So why is that? They have a universal problem. They all sweat. And they drink water to rehydrate. Bam! They're dead. Because sweat is not water. Sweat is a soup of all the nutrients floating around your blood. Let's see here. Gatorade has 2. Powerade has 6. And Rebound has 100 nutrients. We need to give every American Rebound. I want to make sure that everybody in the military gets. You don't understand the United States government doesn't give one vitamin or mineral to our military. And they wonder why they all come back crazy. And they give them this drug for PTSD, and the side effect of that drug is suicide. They can't figure out what's going on. Somebody needs to go to jail.